Hi everyone, this is Nicole with Titans of CNC Academy, and in this video I'm going to show you how to program the TITAN-3M for the Tormach. To begin, we need to set up our stock, so I'm going to click Setup up here. We need to change our orientation to select Z-axis plane and X-axis. For our Z-axis, I'm just going to select this top face. For our X-axis, since there are no lines or edges going along X, I'm just going to zoom out and you can see our origin actually grows, and I can now select that for our X-axis. Next, I want to change our origin to model box point, and with model point highlighted blue, I want to select this back left point. Next, in our stock tab, I want to make sure our mode is set to relative size box, and our stock offset mode is going to be add stock to all sides. Now I'm going to add 0.025 to each of our sides, both on X and on Y. For our negative Z, I'm going to add 0.23, and for our positive Z, I'm going to add 0.02. And you can see our stock dimensions are 2 by 2 by 1. And now I'm going to click OK. The next thing we want to do is face our part, so to do that I'm going to come up to 2D and down to face. We're going to select our tool from the library. The tool we want is the 1.5 inch face mill that we created in the TITAN-3M Tormach video. Click OK. I'm going to change our RPM to 4,000. And our cutting feed rate of 20 inches per minute. I'm going to do my lead in, lead out, ramp, and plunge all 20. We don't need to select anything in geometry, so I'm just going to move on to our heights tab. In here, I'm going to change everything to model top. And in our passes tab, I'm going to change our pass direction to 180 degrees, our pass extension to 0.76, and our step over to 1.4. Our direction we are going to set to climb, and now we can move on to our linking tab. In here I don't really need to change anything. I am going to uncheck our lead in and our lead out and click OK. The next thing we need to do is rough out our part. So to do that, I'm going to go up to 3D and down to adaptive clearing. And we're going to select our tool from the library. This time we're going to be using the 1/2 inch flat end mill. I want our spindle speed set to 4,000 RPM, and our cutting feed rate is going to be 25 inches per minute. I'm going to do my lead in and lead out 25, and I'm going to do my ramp and plunge 15. We don't need to select anything in the geometry tab, so I'm just going to leave it all to default. In our heights tab, I want to change everything to model top. And for our bottom height offset, I'm going to do negative 0.77 below the top. Next, in our passes tab, I want to set my optimal load to 0.025. I'm going to set my maximum roughing step down to 0.8. Our fine step down can be 0.08. I'm going to check flat area detection, and 8 thou is fine with that. For our stock to leave, I'm going to do 5 thou. Next, in our linking tab, I want to set our retraction policy to minimum, our stay down level to 70%. We can actually bump up our non-engagement feed rate to 90 inches per minute. And for our helix, I'm going to do 1 degree ramping angle, and I'm going to do a 1 degree taper angle, and the rest I'm going to leave to default and click OK. So the next thing we need to do is finish our pocket. So to do that, I'm going to come up to 2D and we're going to actually use a 2D contour. So we're going to use that same 1/2 inch flat end mill, but I'm going to change my feed rate to 20 inches per minute. And in our geometry tab, I'm just going to select that bottom contour of our pocket. Next, in our heights tab, I want to change everything to model top. Except for our bottom height, I'm going to do selection, and I'm just going to select the face of that pocket. Next, in our passes tab, I want to change our compensation type to wear. And I'm going to do a finish overlap of 0.01. In our linking tab, the only thing I'm really going to change here is our lead-in distance to 0.2. And that'll have it kind of start in the middle and clean that center up real good. Next, I'm going to click OK. Now the next thing we need to do is finish the outside of our part. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that last toolpath. Right click duplicate, I'm going to right click the new one and click edit. I'm going to keep all my feeds and speeds the same. In geometry, I do want to close this current contour selection, and I'm going to select this outer bottom profile. In our heights tab, I do want to change our bottom height to model top. And I'm just going to do a bottom height offset of -0.77. And I don't really need to change anything on our passes tab, so I'm going to leave that to default. I'm going to go over to our linking tab, and I'm just going to change this back to 0.05. And click OK. So the next thing we need to do is start on our O-ring groove here. So to do that, we're going to do a 2D contour. So I'm going to come up to 2D, down to 2D contour, and we're going to select the tool from our library. We're going to use a 1/16 inch flat end mill. So I'm going to select that and click OK. Our spindle speed will be 4,000 RPM. Our cutting feed rate is going to be 7 inches per minute. I'm just going to change them all to 7. In our geometry tab, I want to select the outer bottom of our O-ring groove. Next, in our heights tab, I want to change everything to model top. Except for our bottom height, I'm going to change that to selection. And I'm just going to select the bottom face of our O-ring groove. Next, in our passes tab, I want to change our compensation type to wear. And I want to select stock to leave, and I'm going to change that to 3.5 thou. That'll put the tool kind of in the center here, and it'll allow us to be able to finish the sidewalls later. Next, in our linking tab, I want to change our horizontal lead-in radius to 1/10. And the same thing with our linear lead-in distance. And I'll set our vertical lead-in radius to 0. Next, we want to check the box that says ramp. And we want our maximum ramp step down to be 0.03. Our ramp clearance height is going to be 0.02. And click OK. Now we can finish the sidewalls of our O-ring groove. So to do that, I'm actually going to duplicate our last toolpath. And I'm going to right click, edit the new one. I'm going to change our plunge to 3 inches per minute since we're going to be plunging into a little bit of material. I'm going to go ahead and leave our contour selection the same. And none of our heights need to change, those are fine. In our passes tab, I want to turn off our stock to leave, and we can actually add a finish overlap of 0.01. And in our linking tab, I'm gonna actually turn off the ramp, and I'm just gonna change these to 1 thou. Now I'll click OK. So to finish the inside of the sidewall of our O-ring groove, I'm just going to duplicate this last toolpath. And the only thing we're really going to be changing is just our geometry selection. And I just want to select the inside of our O-ring groove. And we'll click OK. So the next thing we need to do is chamfer the top of our part. So to do that, I'm going to come up to 2D and down to 2D chamfer. And we're going to select the tool from our library. We're going to use a 1/4 inch chamfer mill. So our spindle speed is already set to 4,000 RPM and our cutting feed rate is set to 20. I'm just going to change all of these to 20 as well. In our geometry, we want to make sure that we select the top contour of our modeled in chamfer. So we don't want to select this outer one, we want to make sure it's the very top of our chamfer. Same with this inner one here. We want to make sure that we select the top line. Next, in our heights tab, we just want to change everything to model top. Now we can move on to our passes tab, and in here I want to change my compensation type to wear. And our chamfer width is going to be 0 since it's already modeled in. I'm going to do our chamfer tip offset at 0.05, and I'm just going to set our clearance to 0. In our linking tab, I'm going to change our horizontal to 0.05. Our linear to 0.05 as well, and our vertical is going to be set to 0. And now we can click OK. The next thing I want to do is add an edge break to our O-ring groove, just to kind of clean up any burr that's going to be left over from the end mill. So to do that, I'm actually going to duplicate this last chamfer, and I'm going to edit the new one. For the geometry, I'm going to remove this current contour selection, and I'm just going to select the top edges of our O-ring groove. Our height should all remain the same. In our passes tab, I do want to add a chamfer width since it's not modeled in. I'm just going to do 3 thou. Our chamfer tip offset, I'm going to do 0.015. And our chamfer clearance is going to remain 0. Next, in our linking tab, I want to change these guys to 5 thou for our horizontal and our linear. And then our vertical lead-in radius will be set to 0 still. And I'll click OK. So the next thing we need to do is spot drill all of our holes. So to do that, I'm going to come up to drilling and select drill. Now we're going to be using this 1/4 inch chamfer, so I'm going to leave that in there. We're going to be running it at 4,000 RPM with a 20 inch per minute plunge feed rate. I'm just going to change that to 20 inches per minute for the retract. In our geometry, we want to make sure our hole mode is set to selected faces. And with our hole faces highlighted blue, I just want to select one of these holes. And then next we want to make sure we check the box that says select same diameter. And that should select all of our holes for us. Next, I want to move on to our heights tab. In here, I want to change everything to model top. And I'm just going to change our bottom height offset to -0.105. our cycle, we want to make sure our cycle type is set to drilling, rapid out, and click OK. The next thing we need to do is drill all of our holes. So to do that, I'm actually just going to duplicate this last toolpath. And right click and edit the new one. We'll come up to our tool tab and we're going to select our tool from the library. We're going to be using this 0.1772 drill. And we want 4,000 RPM with 16 inches per minute for our plunge feed rate. Our geometry is already selected, so we're going to move on to our heights tab. In here, the only thing I need to change is our bottom height offset is going to be negative 0.65. And in our cycle tab, we want to change our cycle type to chip breaking with a partial retract. And I'm going to change our pecking depth to 0.05. We'll change our minimum pecking depth to 0.025 and our accumulated to 1 inch. I'm going to add a chip break distance of 0.01 and click OK. Now the last thing we need to do is tap all of our holes. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that last toolpath again. And right click, edit the new one. And we're going to come up to our tool tab and I just want to select our tool from the library. We're going to be using the 1032 tap, so I'll select that and click OK. For our spindle speed, I want to change that to 550. And since our geometry is already selected, I'm going to move on to our heights tab. In here, I want to change our bottom height offset to negative 0.475. Next, we'll move on to our cycle tab, and I want to change our cycle type to right tapping. And now we can click OK. Now the programming for this part is now complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.